I always wondered why people tell me to change my filters all the time. Okay, don't look at me with your face and tell me that filters can't be fun. I mean, just imagine how Skrillex would sound without mad whoops. Yeah, not as dirty, eh? Well, guess what does that? It's filters! Yay, plus gold star. Lately, I've found myself becoming bored with the current filters I use. See, I'm a massive freak. Well, yeah, I'm a massive freak too, but seriously, that VST is like my Dave's hot sauce. I put that shiznit on everything. I put on basses, pads, leads, everything. One of my favorite parts of Massive is that it has some amazing filters, especially Daft and... baby, it's Scream filter. Actually, I probably haven't used Scream filter since about 2009. Let's not talk about that. So you might be wondering, well, Chris, why would you ever want to get a different filter if you love the ones you have? And to that, I answer, I kinda use them up. Both of them. Very often. How many filters does it take to satisfy a neon star? I don't know, it's a funny joke, funny meme. In those occasions, I tend to use Fruity Filter. For your own situations, just substitute that with the filter you were given by your DAW. Does that make any sense? You know, the hand-me-down shoes of the VST/DAW world. You see, FL Studio just so happens to be the unfashionable older brother of the family that you dread getting clothes from. What lurks in the bowels of those shoes?
What eldritch abomination might you find in the depths of their soul?
Aren't I just full of them today? But let me tell you this. Fruity Effects VSTs break that mold. Image line, you may have screwed up a few things, but effects weren't one of them. They're not pretty, but they do a more than adequate job in their specific areas. In fact, until now, I haven't felt the need to download anything new. I swear to God, I either use Fruity Reverb or Convolver on every single one of my productions. They're fantastic. But lately I've just been getting the feeling that they're a little drab. They're utilitarian, as they're meant to be. They get the job done, but now I want the pepperoncini on the ensalada. I want that spice to add to the mix. Hey Google, find me something free. Yeah, so here's my thought process. Is it pretty? Check. Is it free? Check. Filter Bank V3, it is. It could have taken me 3 minutes, I swear to God. In 3 minutes, I could have had this VST. But then, this happened. Seriously, I understand they want it to be secure, but is this really necessary for a 3 megabyte .dll file? I don't know. Your beautiful minimal system, but you sure as hell ain't minimal. But your VSTs are stop being weird, Jesus. Oh, you came here for a review. Really? Hey, check this out. It's a filter. It does filter things.
They give 1 out of 10 chickens for being filtered.
See? Happy now? I did it! I did the thing! I did it just for you! No, seriously, it's really simplistic. You have resonance, you have cutoff, you have 5 different filter types to choose from. And you know what? It's pretty damn good sounding. I wouldn't necessarily say it's unique, but just listen to it. So, let's start out with the low pass. It can be discreet, but it screams when you want it to scream. I only have a few complaints with it. One is that it's a little bit thin, which could possibly be fixed with a bit of distortion or a phase effect. Not that big a deal. 2 is that it's not all that transparent, as most filters are. In this case, though, it noticeably enhances the mid-range. Way to pick the least attractive sounding part of the synth, jeez. I mean, thinking about it, I had this problem with all the filters in this package. I guess it's not that bad though. All you really need to do is re-EQ the mids and you're fine. It's just a bit of a hassle. The high pass is alright for about 3/4 of the way. I mean, it just doesn't do anything for the first quarter unless you have the resonance turned up all the way, which sounds sort of like... That's a bit annoying. Other than that, it sounds great. The bandpass, on the other hand, is stellar. You get the best parts of the high pass and the low pass all in one. Kudos to the developers on that. Bellissimo. What does NT mean? Tell me, Google. Tell me right now. Eureka! Nipple twist. No, seriously, I've yet to figure out what this does. To me, it sounds like nothing. I just hope my headphones aren't telling me lies. Last but not least, there's peaking. It's not the place in China. It sounds alright. If you really want that kind of sound, go for it. I don't really have a use for it yet, but I could see where you might want it. Oh, hey, it has an allophone. It works. I'm not interested. Hey, look. Here's a knob that adds more gimmick to your product. I mean, supposedly it gives you more analog or something like that, but to be honest, it doesn't do enough to make it worth adding in. Does it make your knob sound more corroded? I guess. Come on, guys, you could do better. Alex might disagree with me on this, but I think this VST looks lovely. I mean, really. It's done up to resemble an old rack mount filter module, and it looks really good. The knobs have their own dynamic shadows, and come on. There's some serious attention to detail put into the way this thing looks. And to top it all off, it doesn't destroy your computer. Like, listen, my computer has 4 gigs of RAM. My projects are comparatively sparse, but I generally run my computer to the max when producing. I love that I can run this, and it won't take up 20% of my CPU, and it'll look good enough to eat. Bravo. To be honest, I'm pleasantly surprised with this VST. It looks great, sounds pretty decent, and it does it in a rather discreet way. It's not the spice that I originally sought when I started my search, but it's definitely a keeper. I'm even using it now on a super secret new project that you might see in the next month. Sure, it has its downfalls, you know, some of the content is of questionable use, but it gets the job done exactly how it's supposed to. Minimally, but effectively. Now, if only they could fix the downloading process.